Example 1. Here we have a tree with multiple tops. Nothing good here. There's a small top there in the middle if you look closely. Got a number of good candidates for potential top work. We're going to stop. I'll do it. Come back. So here we have example 1. And here's what I did. Is I took the leader that was on that side as opposed to this side. You notice I cut that one off there. And what also happened, if you look in here, is there was a couple of small tops. We also cut those out. Here's example number 2. What we have here is 2 very distinct tops. One's taller than the other, one's more centered than the other. What we're going to do is we're going to pull them apart here. Sorry about the video breakup there. You see there's the one that's definitely more centered, and here is the one that has probably more branches and leaders on it. So what do you do here? So here is that tree example number 2 again, and this is what I chose to do. You see I took out the leader that was less centered but had more branches, and the reason I did that is we have a very nice top. We have a lot of buds on there, and because of that it's going to make a nice straighter top. I'm not so worried about getting this one a little faster to market, but it's going to be a much straighter tree. You also notice here where I've taken a couple of the branches and tied them off so that we have a nice equal distribution of branches all the way around. There we go. Great example of what to do. What we have here is a very long leader, and we have a couple of branches coming up that look like they're almost leaders themselves. So what are we going to do on this one? We got a lot of stuff going on here, so stop and I'll come back in a sec. So here we have example 3 again, and again we had those tall leaders in there, and I've cut those out. In this case I left the really tall leader. I'm not sure that's the right thing to do, but I did that because there's so much growth down there, and there's so many buds in the middle of this thing that I'm going to guess that that will just be enough, and we'll slow it down here once it gets up about 4 or 5 feet. Here's a good example of something. We got a lot of buds on this one, but what we have here is a top whorl and a side with just about 0 on it. So what are we going to do about that? Because that's going to leave a tree with a great big hole once it gets big enough. Example 4. So as you can see, what I've done here is I've taken branches around and I've tied them together. And in this case, I even used a lower branch to keep it from going up. Now, I didn't do that there, didn't have the ability to do it, but I did take it around. So what's going to happen are these little inner buds here, they're going to grow out and they're going to help fill in that other side. I've also taken and I've cut it down. Cut it down quite a bit. But you see that little bud right there? That little bud right there is going to grow up a little straight. And because it's a small bud, it will grow up and make a much straighter top. So that's what we've done on this one. Different aspect ratio here, but here's a tree that's got a lot of questions to it. This top whorl up here is right about 4 feet, so this thing's getting close to being sellable. We have a pretty dense tree down below, and then we have a section with almost very little growth in there. It's very sparse. It's almost 2 different trees. We have a top with a lot of good buds on there. Boy, is that nice. But what we're going to do here is pause for a moment. Be right back. Okay, here we are back at that same tree, and a little better video quality on this one. There's Lucy again. You see where we cut this top down pretty short. That is about 8 inches long there. Again, we got 2 buds, so one of those is going to make a great top. So that's really all I have to show about this one. We're going to slow it down, get that tree to fill in a little bit, and it's going to make a really nice 7/8 here in a couple of years. Thanks. Another good example, and there's my dog Lucy. Say hi, Lucy. Lucy, boof. Okay. We have a very tall leader, good growth this year, and a little shrub. Okay, this is what we did on this one. Little shrub got very low, and we've cut it down fairly short in here, and we left that one little bud over there. We got a bunch of good buds all the way around, so that'll fill in. We're not going to have a big naked tree and something that's going to take a long time to fill in. I've also taken and cut out a few of the branches in between, stuff that was growing up that had looked like it had been growing for a top, and there you go. Well, I'm showing you small trees because that's the only ones I didn't have worked right now. And this one, what we have is two very good tops. Not much else going on there. And what we have is a real simple fix. You notice I did cut off that little bud, cut out that extra top in there. You got a really nice top. You look at that whorl up there, that's just perfect. You got 6 buds there, 5 buds there. That's going to be a wonderful top. Some of you may see trees like this. Probably not a lot of you, but you see that in there? I think probably a lot of you know what's going on there. One last example I'm going to show you. We have a tree with a few buds, a really long leader, lots of great buds on there, and then what we have in here. What are we going to do? And we pick back up, and here we go. We trimmed away a lot of the branches around the edge, and what we did this time is we cut out that long top. And the reason I did is because there wasn't a lot of stuff going on right here in that middle. It's going to leave kind of a bare spot in the middle. So I've cut that top off short, and I've actually just used it as the stick. When we come back and we take out that twist tie later, we'll cut that thing off shorter. But there you go. Here is one last tree for you. Just shot this on Saturday or Friday, the 12th, 11th, whatever it was. And what I want to show you is a tree that's kind of full down below. It's got its trim on. It's got a good set of buds. And if you look at this big long leader, this thing is about 2 feet long. It's got all kinds of little buds on it. It's got a really nice top on it. What I'm going to do with this one is walk away. Anyways, that's the last tree for the demo. Hope you've enjoyed it. Bye.